I am now introducing Insane Ian. Achievement unlocked!
Cool guys never look at explosions when they're walking away from them. Cool guys never ask for directions cause the GPS is their friend. Cool guys never read the instructions when building or playing games. Cool guys don't have to be guys because gender roles are totally lame. Greetings, Internet, and welcome to another episode of A Comedy Musician Reacts. My name is Insane E, and I am a comedy musician and comedy music fan, and on this show I react to comedy music from the perspective of a comedy musician. Because that's what I am, and that's what I do, and that's what this is, and that's why you're here, and that's why today I am reacting to the brand new epic rap battle of history, Tom Cruise versus Evel Kinevel. If this is your first time joining us, yes, I am a comedy musician, and yes, I react exclusively to comedy music because that is where my field of expertise is. What this means for you is that I'm going to pause the video. Kind of a lot, actually. This way I'm not talking over or laughing over the jokes and missing them. This way I can discuss how the video and lyrics work in tandem to help enhance the comedy. Sometimes I'm analyzing. Sometimes I'm summarizing. Sometimes I'm explaining jokes, because that's always fun for people, and sometimes I'm just sitting back and laughing my damn head off. It's a crapshoot whatever you're gonna get, but I think it's a good time. If you like that sort of thing, please like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things to feed the algorithm to get more eyeballs onto these videos. And if you really want to help the channel out, consider supporting me on Patreon, where patrons get to see these videos early, get my music and comedy early, and all sorts of other cool things like that. Anyway, all of that out of the way, let us dive in to today's video. I am very excited about this one. This is Tom Cruise versus Evel Kinevel. We have the old school stunt driver who used to jump buses on a motorcycle, and then we have the modern day actor who does a good majority of his own stunts. And a song exists about him by Joko that we won't get into for fear of legal repercussions. But, yes, let's see how this one goes. It's a short battle. It's only, like, 2 minutes and 18 seconds for an ERB. It's a little short, but that doesn't mean I won't be dissecting things. I try not to dissect every single bar, but sometimes I get caught up in it. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. Let me turn that up a little bit. There we go.
I'm Evel Kinevel, one hell of a daredevil. Takes more than Scientology to stunt on my level. No.
Yes, obviously, Tom Cruise, one of the most famous Scientologists, the Church of Scientology. The Church of Scientology. I like the accent that Lloyd's using here. That wig is perfect. Looks just like Evel Kinevel. That is clearly not Nice Peter as Tom Cruise. I think that is the guy who has played a Tom Cruise impression all across the internet. Many different channels have used him. I think he had his own channel for a while too. I don't know his name. We'll find out at the end, I'm sure.
It's got a bigger need for speed than me. Your best movie's you getting killed repeatedly.
His best movie is him getting killed repeatedly. That would be, well, it was called Edge of Tomorrow, and then I think on Blu-ray it was called Live, Die, Repeat, but it was based on a Japanese manga called All You Need Is Kill. They did a book first, or a light novel first, and then they turned it into a manga. And then they recently redid it. There was an anime version of it, I think last year. Or maybe it was early this year, something like that. They did All You Need Is Kill again, closer to the book. The Tom Cruise movie is not very close to the original manga, and this is the type of thing I'm hoping to discuss on my second channel, Insane Ian Comics and Gaming. Shameless plug. Whatever, it's not important for now. Anyway, moving on.
You're the tiniest action star I've seen. Need an IMAX just so we can spot you on the screen. As an actor, you'll never be one of the greats. You're middle of the road like that tooth in your face.
Oh, damn. That's hardcore. That's a great line. Yes, Tom Cruise is notoriously short. As a short king myself, I'm only 4'20". But Tom Cruise is, what, 5'6" or something like that? Maybe 5'7". And he played Jack Reacher
Now, if you've watched the TV show Jack Reacher, you know Jack Reacher, played by Alan Richton, is 6'5". Richton is actually 6'3", but the character is 6'5". So having 5'6" Tom Cruise play 6'5" Jack Reacher, he did 2 movies. He had the attitude for sure, but not the height or the imposing visage of Reacher's height and build. Alan Richton portrays the character much better. I liked Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher movies, but that was not Jack Reacher. Not the way he's depicted in the books. And yes, Tom Cruise had his teeth done. If you want to see what Tom Cruise's teeth looked like before, there's a movie called Legend that he is in, and that was before he had his teeth capped. And he had a very crooked tooth right out front, much like I do. And then after that, his teeth aren't symmetrical. I don't know if people have noticed this, but if you look at Tom Cruise's smile, he has a tooth right in the center where one doesn't belong. So yeah, that's a good bar to point that out. I mean, it's a typical rap battle thing. Sometimes you go against their character, and sometimes you go against their features. Yeah.
Clench your jaw, whisper intensely. Run! There, I just dissed all your characters. Done on the...
Yeah, it's not a Tom Cruise movie until Tom Cruise starts running. Very true. But clenching his jaw, whisper, and then run. I've done all your characters done. That's great.
Mike and the mic, I'm a better double feature. Beating me's a bigger reach than you with Jack Reacher. Ready?
As I just said. Perfect. Let's take it back a little.
Characters. Done on the bike and the mic, I'm a better double feature. Beating me's a bigger reach than you with Jack Reacher. Ready? I was born on the 4th of July. Woo! You're just red, white, and bruised. You talk a lot of shit, but here's the truth. You can't handle the cruise.
This guy, doesn't look totally like Tom Cruise, but he's got the voice down really, really well. He's got some of the features. Loses a little bit in the eyes. And the hair in that Few Good Men shot, admittedly, he had a military cut. Somewhat. Not a full military cut, because he was kind of playing a lax Navy lawyer. He wasn't really fully Navy in that movie, and the character wasn't. But it doesn't quite get the visage. He's got the dress uniform there. But You Can't Handle the Cruise is playing on You Can't Handle the Truth, which is actually Nicholson's line from A Few Good Men, from the famous courtroom scene. Born on the 4th of July was a movie that Tom Cruise did, one of his, at the time, most biggest outstanding acting performance he had done up to that point, where he plays a war veteran. And the whole red, white, and bruised, can't handle the cruise, that's just... Yes, because Evel Knievel always dressed in the spangly outfits, and they were star-spangly, too. He's usually a white outfit highlighted with red and red and blue stripes, stars all over it. It's a very American icon kind of thing. So yes, it's playing on that theme of You're Red, White, and Bruised, because there have been many times when Evel Knievel crashed his bike instead of clearing it over those things, and yeah, came away pretty banged up. So Red, White, and Bruised absolutely works.
Your star-spangled suit insults our country. I look more dignified sliding in my undies.
That would be from Risky Business, a very iconic scene from that movie. And I was going to say, that's the hallway from it, and then here he comes sliding in his undies.
But you let my hands when I run. I don't need a precog to see your future. You got none.
Precog to see your future is from Minority Report. Guys, if you haven't caught on, I'm a pop culture junkie, so all of the references in this one, I'm getting. It's when you get to actual historical figures when in an ERB where I tend to lose the plot. Yes, that's a problem with my brain. Important historical things doesn't stay in there, but trivia and movie minutia, I'm in. I've got that in the bag. But yes, the glove and the move of moving the screen away from Minority Report, based on the Philip K. Dick novel. Yeah, lots of good stuff. You know what? Of actors, I enjoy Tom Cruise movies. I can't say I enjoy Tom Cruise's personality in interviews sometimes. But, you know, sometimes that's the Hollywood facade that he does, and sometimes that's the Scientology coming through. You know, that's neither here nor there. This is a rap battle. They're going to bring things up.
You can't handle the cruise. Your star-spangled suit insults our country. I look more dignified sliding in my undies. But you let my hands when I run. I don't need a precog to see your future.
And he moved his body in a cast with the Minority Report thing. And move my hands when I run. Yeah, he kind of runs a little robotically sometimes. A little T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Got none. You did a lot of jumps. Barely landed one. I should have called it the Snake River Canyon.
Snake River Canyon. Snake River Canyon was a big jump that he apparently failed to do. The mask that he turned around in was from Eyes Wide Shut. Another Tom Cruise movie.
You got none. You did a lot of jumps. Barely landed one. I should have called it the Snake River Canyon.
The Snake River Canyon instead of Canyon. Can't. Yeah, obviously. All right. I don't know why we went Eyes Wide Shut for that shot, but it was something that was shown in there. Dude's voice is on point. Sounds just like Tom Cruise. Great. Same affectation, same intonation, same tone. I mean, the voice already just sounds like it, but he's also doing the same kind of rhythm to Tom's speech that he has.
You beat an unarmed man with a bat. I play lawyers, but I can't defend that.
Okay, so he comes in and does the same move from Few Good Men again. I've played lawyers. Did you play more than one? Well, The Firm. I forgot about The Firm. He did do The Firm, so...
I quit giving acting reviews. You got tricked by a cop playing a prostitute. You're a drunk stunt monkey and your son followed suit. And you both crashed out and got buried in Butte.
And buried in Butte. Butte, Montana, I think, which is where they may be from. So, alright, we're going full helmet here.
What you did, man? You wanna talk about wives and kids, man? I jumped 14 buses, but you know what's farther? The distance Katie Holmes keeps you from your daughter.
Obviously, we've used a mannequin or a dummy of some kind here for that crash, because sometimes Evel Knievel didn't make it. But yes, that's true. Had a daughter with Katie Holmes, and I read in the news recently that daughter does not even use Cruise's last name, and they keep their distance from him because Katie got out of the church and is trying to keep the daughter out of it as well. Holy crap.
You pray to aliens, Tom. That ain't right. Look at the vampires. You need to interview Christ.
That's a great bar. Because Tom Cruise was famously in Interview with the Vampire as Lestat. Forget the aliens, you gotta interview Christ. Yes, the Church of Scientology, for people who do not know, is based on a religion by an author. I believe L. Ron Hubbard is the author who wrote the book on Scientology, and they worship an alien named Xenu or something like that. There was a whole South Park episode about it. Yeah, they believe they're gonna come down, and I don't fully know the actual details of it because I don't want that information taking up space in my brain. I mean, I have a limit. So, yeah. There's definitely something a little interesting about Scientology. And I say interesting in heavy quotation marks.
Safety wire. You're gonna need to be held. Cause just like Ron Hubbard, you're taking the L.
Yeah, taking the L. L. Ron Hubbard. I was right. Haha. Taking the L means taking the loss, obviously, but also taking the L out of Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard was his name. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And yes, Tom Cruise does do a lot of his own stunts, but obviously he's in safety wires when he does it, or, having a lot of precautions in place despite the fact that he's doing these stunts. The man knows how to fly a helicopter and did fly the helicopter and I think a plane in the most recent one, but flew a helicopter in Fallout. he did a jump between two buildings and landed wrong and broke his ankle. And he was 55 when he did that. And they had to, like, shut down the production for a little bit for his foot to heal, and then he went back and did the stunt again after he'd healed it up. And that's crazy. And you know, Evel Knievel did a lot of crazy stunts too, where he's jumping 14 buses and trying to jump over a canyon and, you know, doing things on fire or jumping through fire, flaming hoops and whatnot, going over rivers and gorges, and yeah, it's a lot of daredevil things, and sometimes they're just for the spectacle, and sometimes they're for a movie.
No one even knows who you are anymore. I'm above you when I'm dangling an inch off the floor.
Obviously from the first Mission Impossible. I'm a big fan of the Mission Impossible movies. Obviously, the first one had its detractors because it turned one of the main characters from the TV show into the villain for that movie, and a lot of people had a problem with that, but most people who've seen the Mission Impossible movies now have no idea they were even based on a TV show. The show was in the 60s and 70s, and, you know, that's where the theme song came from. The theme song existed before the movies did, and it's just been a lot of people covering it, but, you know, for the movies.
Pop you harder than you pop pills. You one-trick jackass, Hick Johnny Knoxville.
Hick Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville's kind of a hick anyway. Especially when they cast him in the Dukes of Hazzard movie. But, yeah, you know, one-trick Jackass. Jackass does a lot of different stunts and pranks, and admittedly, Evel Knievel just kind of jumped over stuff on a bike. But calling him a hick Johnny Knoxville is kind of an insult to Johnny Knoxville, who's a hick as well. But whatever.
You're popping is your lips from the filler you inject. I've been snapping on you like Goose's neck. You're at
Ooh, okay. You know what, so far, like, I've liked Tom Cruise's bars, but I've responded more to Evel Knievel's. Pop more than Goose's neck, meaning Goose from Top Gun. Ironically, a Tom Cruise movie I haven't seen, but of course, I know through pop culture osmosis.
and is worse than the Mummy in 3D, like a dry hand job. You don't complete me.
Man, yeah, I've really been responding more to Evel Knievel's verses. They've been getting a good laughs out of me. Worse than the Mummy in 3D. Tom Cruise did that Mummy remake back when Universal was trying to launch their Dark Universe, and it lasted one movie, which bombed, and then they canceled all the projects. They had cast all these people, and they had Russell Crowe come in as Dr. Jekyll, trying to, like, set it off as, like, some connected universe, and then it failed miserably. And it didn't go off to a good start either, because the first trailer that was released, the music and sound effects were missing from the trailer, and it's just the voice audio. So there's a plane crash scene in that trailer, and Tom Cruise is up against the wall screaming, but that's the only sound you hear. There's no wind, there's no sound of crashing or a plane diving or anything. No, none of the other sound effects are in it. It's just him going, up against the wall of the plane. It's ridiculous and hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's probably still on YouTube. But yes, your acting's like a dry hand job. You don't complete me. Obviously, to completion, yes. But you complete me was his line in the movie Jerry Maguire, where he played the titular Jerry Maguire. It is I guess technically Jerry Maguire is kind of a rom-com. But that's where Show Me the Money came from. Which wasn't even Tom Cruise's line. It was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s line. He was a guy, he played an agent, and he was representing Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, and Cuba wanted him to show him the money and made him repeat it, and yes, movies.
The stunt of yours people boast about is your psycho jump up on Oprah's couch with the...
Yes, back when Tom Cruise was Tom Cruise crazy for Katie Holmes jumping up and down on the couch, I'm so in love, and they had all those memes of when he grabs Oprah's hands, like lightning came out of it like he was the fucking Emperor from Star Wars. Yeah, Tom Cruise Crazy, of course, is the Joko song. Joko being Jonathan Coulton, another sort of comedy musician. He did a lot of comedy songs before. A lot of his more recent stuff is more serious, but he still mixes some comedy into some of them. But yes, Jonathan Coulton, kind of a bigger name from years ago in comedy music, did a song called Tom Cruise Crazy. Based on that moment where he was exclaiming to Oprah on an episode about, you know, he's found love with Katie Holmes. He was married to Nicole Kidman years before that. They both did Eyes Wide Shut together. They were married for years before that. They did another movie together where the accents were all over the place. I forget what one that one is. But yeah, they were married. They're not now. He was married to Katie Holmes. He's not now. But he does buy people that he does movies with that he likes this one particular coconut cake from this bakery in New York, and everybody who's ever gotten this cake from Tom Cruise will not shut up about it. I mean, admittedly, it sounds cool, but I mean, I like cake. Obviously. Moving on.
Just remember who's a legend when you're stepping to me. Even Rain Man knows you're getting beat.
Oh, there we go. There's Nice Peter coming in as Dustin Hoffman from Rain Man and doing a definitely. Let's go back here.
Up on Oprah's couch, so just remember who's a legend when you're stepping to me. Even Rain Man knows you're getting beat. Definitely. Oprah? I'd give it Queen Latifah. It's just another day on the Burj Khalifa. Yes.
Yes, one of the Mission Impossible movies. He climbs the Burj Khalifa on the outside with weird magnetic suction gloves. It's a movie, yeah.
I grew up with your stunt cycle toy. I've been pushing you around since I was a little boy.
Yeah, they made Evel Knievel stunt cycles. Everybody's seen those. Sometimes they make videos with them on TikTok now. But, like, you know, it had like a little ripcord or it was a pullback thing, and it was a little toy motorcycle that was, you know, propelled, and you can put it over jumps if you wanted to. And, of course, they would crash too because it's a toy. I don't get the Queen Latifah line. I'm sure somebody will explain that to me in the comments, but that was the one line that I didn't quite get. And of course, now we're recreating the Rain Man scene down the escalator when they got the suits.
Ended up a bankrupt crash test dummy. Show me the money!
There's Show Me the Money. And then back to Eyes Wide Shut.
Anywhere, anytime, anyplace. So grab your shattered femur and literally fuck your own face!
That was the best bar Tom Cruise has done in this one. That was him under heavy makeup and a fat suit in Tropic Thunder, playing the agent, the boss of the agent for Ben Stiller's character. Matthew McConaughey played Ben Stiller's agent, and I think Tom Cruise played the head of the studio. So yeah, he has this whole dance scene. He's got these giant hands and like a belly, and he's bald. Most people didn't even recognize that it was Tom Cruise. One of his funniest performances. And it's so unhinged and out of nowhere. At which, you know, I guess kind of is par for the course for Tom Cruise. But yes, that one of the lines in the end of that is he's yelling at the terrorists for them to fuck their own face. It's genius. It's actually really great. I liked that battle. The two characters that, you know, I enjoy. Obviously, I know a little bit more about Tom Cruise, but I think Evel Knievel had the better bars in that. I laughed more at his bars for certain. And they're going on tour, of course. They are touring with Starbomb, the band of Aaron and Dan from Game Grumps, and Dan and Brian from Ninja Sex Party. Both of those Dans are the same Dan. Yeah, Starbomb is going on tour later this year in about, I think, like 2 weeks or so, 20 days, something like that. And Epic Rap Battles of History is opening for them on the first leg of the tour, and Scoochie Boochie, who I've reacted to a bunch here, is opening for them on the second leg of the tour. And also, They're doing their own tour in October when the changeover happens. So those are the tour dates if you want to see them live. I've seen Epic Rap Battles of History live before. Amazing live show. This was a great battle. I really enjoyed it. I liked Evel Knievel's bars better. The guy who played Tom Cruise is Evan Ferrante. He is @not Tom Cruise official because he makes his living pretending to be Tom Cruise. That is really funny. I enjoyed that. Anything else in this? Nope. Just more dance beats. Let's see if there's a preview of the next ERB, although it's been like an entire year since we got one. 2 seconds. Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh, and my light burnt out. Perfect timing. Anyway, I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. If you did, go show ERB some love. Link is in the description box below to see the video without me yammering all over it. Of course, if you liked this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things to feed the algorithm to get more eyeballs onto these videos. And if you really want to help the channel out like these wonderful folks over here do, consider supporting me on Patreon, where patrons get to see these videos early, get my music and videos early, and all sorts of other cool things like that. Anyway, that's all for this week. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
These are things that are typically thought of as cool. You do these things and everyone will know that you rule. You'll be the kings and the queens of your pool. The bells will ring like they did way back in high school. The angels sing cause they know that you're not a fool. But fate's a thing that can be quite cruel, cause it's impossible to look cool.